This is a little more of an in-depth look at my Angel deck, or Angel and Demon deck, with Liesa Shroud of Dusk as the commander. Rather than pay 2 for each previous time you've cast the spell from the command zone this game, we're going to pay 2 life that many times instead. She's got flying and lifelink, and whenever a player casts a spell, they lose 2 life. So that includes ourselves, but hopefully we got enough life gain in here to mitigate that. So here's some generic cards in here. We've got a Giant Ox. Cruise vehicles using its toughness rather than its power. Because, you know, it's cool. It's a 0/6, so it can prove quite a few things. We've got Cleaving Reaper. So it's got flying and trample. If we pay 3 life, we're going to return Cleaving Reaper from our graveyard to our hand. We're going to activate this ability only if we had an Angel or Berserker enter the battlefield under our control this turn. And we've got Radiant Sierra Archangel. Bit pricey. A lot of them are pricey because they're angels and they're demons. But it's got flying. And we tap another untapped creature we control with flying, and Radiant Sierra Archangel gains protection from the color of our choice until end of turn. Don't have very much card draw in here, but we got a couple of things that kind of do that. Got Furia, Judge of Valor. It's got flying and lifelink, and looks pretty cool on top of that pile of skulls. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest into your grave. We've also got Sigarda's Splendor. That's an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, we're going to note our life total. So at the beginning of our upkeep, we're going to draw a card if our life total is greater than or equal to the last noted life total for the Splendor. And then we're going to note that life total. And whenever we cast a white spell, we're going to gain 1 life. So you can't go wrong either way. You're either going to draw a card and you're going to be gaining life. We've got Villas, Broker of Blood. As you can see, very expensive, but he's an 8/8 demon. He's got flying. If we pay 1 black and pay 2 life, target creature gets -1/-1 till end of turn. And whenever we lose life, we're going to draw that many cards. So if we even cast a spell where Liesa is out on the board, we are going to lose life. We're going to lose 2 life. And we're going to draw 2 cards. We've also got the Burning Ruin Demon. It's got flying. When it enters the battlefield, we can search our library for exactly 2 cards not named the Burning Ruin Demon that have different names. If we do, we reveal those cards. An opponent chooses one of them. We're going to put the chosen card in our hand and the other in our grave. And we also have Search for Glory. We're going to search our library for a snow permanent card, a legendary card, or a saga card, reveal it, put it into our hand, and shuffle. We can gain 1 life for each snow spent to cast this spell. So we do have snow-covered lands in here, so if anything, you could look for a snow land. Or a legendary. So we got some expensive stuff in here, so what can we do? We've got Smothering Tithe. Of course, whenever an opponent draws a card, that player may pay 2. If the player doesn't, we create a colorless treasure artifact token. We can tap that token to add 1 mana of any color after we sacrifice it. we've got Replicating Ring. So at first, this doesn't really do much. It's more for late game. But we could tap it to add 1 mana of any color. At the beginning of our upkeep, we could put a night counter on Replicating Ring. If it has 8 or more night counters on it, we remove all of them and create 8 colorless snow artifact tokens named Replicating Ring that add 1 mana of any color. Not likely, but it's there just in case. We've got a Colossal Plow. Whenever a Colossal Plow attacks, we're going to add 3 white, and we're going to gain 3 life. Till the end of turn, we don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. So this is a great one for, you're going to get a little bit of mana and a little bit of life. And this is something the Ox can drive. The Ox can also drive the Raider's Carve, because why not? But whenever the Raider's Carve attacks, we're going to look at the top card of our library. If it's a land card, we're going to put it onto the battlefield tapped. So it's a little chaotic, but if you find land, it's a good way to ramp up a little bit. We've also got a Starnheim Aspirant. Angel spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. That'll help with at least the angels. We've got Keeper of the Accord. So at the beginning of each opponent's end step, if that player controls more creatures than you, we're going to get a 1/1 white soldier creature token. And at the beginning of each opponent's end step, if that player controls more lands than you, you may search your library for a basic plains and put that onto the battlefield tapped. So this is just another way to, either going to get a creature to try to catch up, and or you're going to get a land to try to catch up if you're falling behind. We've also got Dream Devourer. So this doesn't make it cheaper per se, but it kind of does. So each non-land card in your hand without Foretell has Foretell. And that's for all non-land cards. Its Foretell cost is equal to its mana cost reduced by 2. So really, you're paying the 2 to foretell it, and then you're paying the rest of it later to cast it from exile. So you are paying the same amount, but you get to divvy it up. So if you do have an expensive demon or an expensive angel, and you don't quite have enough to cast it, you could pay the 2 to foretell it, and then you'll pay less of a cost altogether the next turn or the turn after that or whatnot to bring it out. So it doesn't make it cheaper per se, but it lets you split the cost over a couple of turns so that it's manageable. And whenever you foretell a card, Dream Devourer gets +2/+0 till end of turn. So let's look at a little bit of the removal here. We've got Gourmand. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sack a creature. Hopefully you'll have a token to sack at that time. It's got flying, it's got trample. And when it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature. We've also got Demon of Loathing. It's got flying and trample. Whenever Demon of Loathing deals combat damage to a player, that player sacrifices a creature. It's too bad they get to choose, but hey, sacrifice is sacrifice. We've got Rampage of the Valkyries. When it enters the battlefield, it's an enchantment. We're going to create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. Whenever an angel we control dies, each other player sacrifices a creature. Lose an angel, they lose a creature. We got Furia's Retribution. So this is a enchantment saga. On our first chapter, we got create a 4/4 white angel warrior creature token with flying and vigilance. On our second one, until end of turn, angels we control gain. You can tap it to destroy target creature with power less than this creature's power. For most angels, you're looking at a 4, a creature with 3 power or less then. If you got some stronger angels, you can get rid of some bigger creatures. And on our third chapter, we've got angels you control gain double strike until end of turn, which is pretty scary. For board wipes here, we got single combat. Each player chooses a creature or planeswalker they control and sacrifices the rest. Players can't cast creature or planeswalker spells till the end of your next turn. So them not being able to cast anything until the end of your next turn is kind of nice. So maybe you could get ahead of the game. And we got Doomscar, which looks really cool. So it destroys all creatures. It's also got Foretell, 1, and a white. So you could just save it. Save it for when you need it. We also have a Glorious Protector. So if you cast this, well, let's read it first. It's got Flash, Flying. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile any number of non-angel creatures you control until it leaves the battlefield. It's also got Foretell, 2, and a white. So if you do board wipe, you can actually save all your non-angel creatures. So any humans we have out, which there probably won't be many, and demons we have out. Unfortunately, it doesn't save other angels. So here's a few things that save some of our stuff or brings them back. We've got a Karmic Guide. Costs 3 and 2 white. It's a bit hefty there. It's got Flying and Protection from black. It also has Echo, 3 and 2 white. It's a bit expensive. But when it enters the battlefield, return target creature card from our grave to the battlefield. That's a nice way of getting something back. We've also got Liesa, Forgotten Archangel. Flying and Lifelink. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, return that card to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. So we can get our stuff back to our hands instead of losing it. If a creature an opponent controls would die, we're going to exile it instead. So alternatively, you could use her as the commander, but I prefer using the other one. It's cheaper to get back in when people are removing her. And you got that constant, whenever somebody casts a spell, they lose 2 life. We got the Breathkeeper Seraph. Got Flying and Soul Bond, so we can pair this creature with another unpaired creature, and when either enters the battlefield, they remain paired for as long as we control both of them. So as long as Breathkeeper Seraph is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has, when this creature dies, you may return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of your next end step. So you can kind of keep saving her and whoever she's paired with. Can't Stay Away. So we're going to return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from our grave to the battlefield. It gains if this creature would die, exile it instead. Now, a lot of our creatures are expensive, so we won't be able to use it on them, but there are a few humans in here that cost less that we can bring back, that are nice support characters. We've also got Flashback, 3 and a white and a black. We've got Reanimate for 1 black. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. You lose life equal to its converted mana cost. It's a great cheap way to bring something back from our grave, and with our life gain, hopefully that life loss won't be too bad. We've got Endless Obedience. It's got Convoke, so creatures can help cast this spell. Each one we tap pays for 1 colorless. We could put target creature card from a grave onto the battlefield under our control, so we could use it on anybody's but probably more ours. We also have Defy Death. So we can return target creature card from our grave to the battlefield, and if it's an angel, we're going to put 2+1 counters on it. And ironically, there's an angel and a demon in this, which is exactly what this deck is. And after a board wipe, the Haunting Voyage is really good. So it does have Foretell. Foretell is 5 and 2 black instead of the casting cost of 4 and 2 black, but we'll see why. We're going to choose a creature type, angel or demon. Return up to 2 creature cards of that type from our grave to the battlefield. But if this spell was foretold, we're going to return all creature cards of that type from our grave to the battlefield instead. So this is a nice one to do after a board wipe. So now we're going to look at some of our life gain stuff. We've also, we've got some things with life link. But they're in other categories as well. We've got the Cosmos Elixir. So at the beginning of our end step, we're going to draw a card if our life total is greater than our starting life. Otherwise, we gain 2 life. Now, I could have put this in the card draw area as well, but I find it more likely that I'm not above my life total, so I'm gaining life as opposed to drawing a card. But hey, if we are above our life total, we'll get to draw a card. We've got a Johnny's Welcome. Very cheap for 1 white. It's an enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under our control, we're going to gain a life. So things are pretty expensive in this. You're not going to be casting too many things, but you'll see a bit later that we're going to be making tokens, and that's where we'll gain most of the life from a Johnny's Welcome. We've also got Righteous Valkyrie. It's got flying. Whenever another angel or cleric enters the battlefield under our control, we gain life equal to the creature's toughness. As long as we have at least 7 life more than our starting life total, creatures we control get +2/+2. So a little bonus if we do have quite a bit of life. We've got the Bastion of Remembrance. When it enters, we're going to create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Well, there's 1 token generation. And whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. We've also got Revenge of Ravens. So whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses 1 life and you gain a life. And we've got Veto, Thorn of the Dusk Rose. So whenever we gain life, target opponent loses that much life. We can also pay 3 and 2 black, and creatures we control gain life link till end of turn. So here's some other things like buffs and stuff. We got Ascent of the Worthy. So for the first 2 chapters, we're going to choose a creature we control. Till the end of our next turn, all damage that would be dealt to creatures we control is dealt to that creature instead. So we can kind of protect more important creatures than a weaker creature. And our 3rd chapter, we get to return target creature from our grave to the battlefield with a flying counter on it. That creature is an angel warrior in addition to its other types. So another way to bring something back as well. Protection and bring things back. We got Orbs of Warding. I chose it because it looked cool, really. But we have Hexproof, so nobody can target us as a player. We can't be the target of spells or abilities our opponents control. And if a creature would deal damage to you, prevent 1 of that damage. We've got Redain, God of the Worthy. So it's a double-sided. We can go for either side. On this side, she's a creature, God. Flying Vigilance. Snow lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. It depends. Snow lands are rare. It depends what set you're playing. But non-creature spells your opponents cast with a converted mana cost of 4 or greater cost 2 more to cast. So you can kind of mess around with somebody trying to cast big, expensive spells. And on the other side, we've got Valkmira, Protector's Shield. So it's an artifact, legendary. If a source an opponent controls would deal damage to you or a permanent you control, we're going to prevent 1 of that damage. And whenever you or another permanent you control become the target of a spell or ability that opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless its controller pays 1. So you got options here. I really like making them pay an extra 1 or else their things get countered. Or even that one's good. Non-creature spells. I kind of like the countering it unless they pay 1 extra. A little bit more. We've also got Rule of Law. So each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. So if you're finding that spells are expensive and you're really only casting 1 per turn anyway, make everybody else do the same. Prevent people from casting more than 1 spell. And then work on making tokens, which we'll be doing a little bit in the next bunch of cards. We got Sarah's Guardian. It's got flying, vigilance. Other creatures we control have vigilance. We've also got Lara, Dawnbringer. Flying, first strike, lifelink. Other angels you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink. My gosh. And we've also got Intangible Virtue. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. So not going to really affect our non-tokens, but with all the tokens we're making, it'll affect all those. And we got Rally the Ranks. When it enters the battlefield, we're going to choose a creature type. And creatures we control of the chosen type get +1/+1. That's going to be either angels or demons, whichever one you're building most of. So let's start off with some of the demon generation, because there's not as much. We got a Blood-Soaked Altar. So we can tap it to pay 2 life, discard a card, sacrifice a creature, and then we can create a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying. We've also got the Skursdag High Priest. It's got Morbid. You can tap it and tap 2 untapped creatures we control. Then we're going to create a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying. But we can only activate it if a creature died this turn. We've also got the Dread Feast Demon. It's got flying. At the beginning of our end step, sacrifice a non-demon creature. If you do, create a token that's a copy of the Dread Feast Demon. Make a whole bunch of those. We've got Speaker of the Heavens. So here's one of those cheap humans I was talking about. Vigilance, lifelink. If we tap it, we could create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying, but we can only do it if we have at least 7 life more than our starting life total. We've also got the Book of Exalted Deeds. At the beginning of our end step, if we gain 3 or more life this turn, we're going to create a 3/3 white angel creature token with flying. If we pay 3 white, we can tap it, exile the Book of Exalted Deeds, and put an enlightened counter on target angel. It gains you can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. We've also got the Valkyrie Harbinger, flying and lifelink. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain 4 or more life this turn, we're going to create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. So what's nice is, even though there's a lot of expensive things, you don't have to do too much to get these tokens. Basically gain or lose life. We've got Angelic Accord. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain 4 or more life this turn, you create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. We've got the Resplendent Angel. It's got flying. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain 5 or more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. You can also pay 3 and 3 white until end of turn. It gains +2/+2 in lifelink. We got the Parhelion 2. It's got, I think the Ox can drive this too. It's got flying, first strike, and vigilance. Whenever it attacks, create 2 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance that are attacking. It's got crew 4, so the Ox can definitely fly it. We got the Seraphic Greatsword. Equipped creature gets +2/+2. Whenever equipped creature attacks the player with the most life or tied for the most life, we're going to create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying that's tapped and attacking that player. Though it costs 4 to equip. We've got the Starname Unleashed. We're going to create a 4/4 white angel warrior creature token with flying and vigilance. We can foretell it though, foretell it for X, X, and white. And if this spell was foretold, we're going to create X of those tokens instead. We've also got Chord of Grace. When it enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. If you're the monarch, you're going to create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying instead. We've also got First Response. So now we're not making angels, we're making other things. At the beginning of each upkeep, if you lost life last turn, we're going to create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. We've got Jaren, Corrupted Bishop. Now this card here doesn't really do much in this deck. So you could get rid of it and put something else that's better. I just put it in here because I like the artwork. And I think it's a fun little side quest to do. So whenever he enters the battlefield or another non-token human we control dies, we're going to lose a life and create a 1/1 white human creature token. So we can pay 2 and target human you control gains lifelink till end of turn. But at the beginning of your end step, if you have exactly 13 life, you may pay 4 and 2 black. If we do, we can transform him. And he transforms into the Corruptor. Flying, trample, lifelink, and if we sack another creature, we get to draw a card. Very unlikely it's going to happen, but it's a fun little, like I said, a fun little side quest. We've got Finale of Glory. So we're going to create X 2/2 white soldier creature tokens with vigilance. If X is 10 or more, we also create X 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance. We've got the Bishop of Wings. Whenever an angel enters the battlefield under our control, we're going to gain 4 life. Sweet. Whenever an angel you control dies, we're going to create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. You know what's awesome about that? This is awesome about that. Divine Visitation. So all those things, especially the Bishop of Wings that creates these spirit tokens or these soldier tokens or anything else, if you have this out, if 1 or more creature tokens would be created under your control, that many 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance are created instead. So angel dies, instead of a white spirit, you make another angel. This one here, if you spend 10 or more, you're going to create angels and angels. Human dies, create an angel. If we lost life, create an angel. If we're not the monarch, still create an angel. So, great card. So, for the last of the cards, we've got in here Vorpal Sword. Cost a black. And equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has Death Touch. So if we pay 5 and 3 black, until end of turn, it gains whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. And it costs 2 black to equip. So it's just another alternate way to win. We've also got Approach of the Second Sun, because why not? So if Approach of the Second Sun was cast from our hand and we've cast another spell named Approach of the Second Sun this game, we win the game. Otherwise, put Approach of the Second Sun into its owner's library, 7th from the top, and you gain 7 life. And we've also got Enduring Angel. So it's got Flying, Double Strike. We have Hexproof. If your life total would be reduced to 0 or less, instead transform Enduring Angel and your life total becomes 3. Then, if Enduring Angel didn't transform this way, you lose the game. So, hopefully we're going to transform it. And this will just save us from losing the game by combat damage at least once. Then we got an Angelic Enforcer when we transform it. We have Hexproof. Its power and toughness are each equal to our life total. And whenever it attacks, we're going to double our life total. So, wow. And that was basically, that was the Angel and Demon deck. So I hope it gave some ideas for some people. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you for watching.